All right, welcome back to another episode of the Extreme Lifestyle Living Podcast. Now, obviously, as you can see, I'm doing video. This one over here is going for YouTube, and this is going to be the clips for promoting it. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, and things like that. But, I took a little bit of a hiatus because I really want to make sure that the quality of information that I'm giving you guys and also the quality of myself that I'm giving you guys is 110% genuine, honest, and on pace and par with who I want to become within this lifestyle. And the reason why I say it that way is because the main reason why I have the podcast and the main reason why I have this entire setup and, I'm even doing it this way now is because I got in this space to be an authority from just who I am as a person. I'm grateful enough to be gone through enough life experiences, get enough education certificates and things like that to put myself on a pedestal to be an authority within the fitness community, within the mental health community, things like that. And I think the biggest thing for me personally is just taking pride on just using as much of my own personal experiences as I can to relay information to other people through an impactful source. And especially with social media being where it's at, we got videos for everything nowadays that I think it's just unreal with how much impact we all have access to. And I think the biggest thing with that too is how inspiring we all can be. So today's topic, what I want to talk about is your physical health and how much well-being that has to do with your mental health, and I think something that of this topic of, going to the gym and moving your body, all these different things, we all have this ideology as to what it should look like in our life. We all have this expectation that whatever it may be, maybe it's a sports background, maybe it's something a pigment of your imagination from a movie you've watched, but all of us struggle with prioritizing our movement and really understanding where it should be at in terms of our goals and things like that. It's easy to say if you're going to the gym 10 times out of 10 times out of 10 every single day to the gym, it's very easy to say obviously you prioritize your movements, you're seeing success and things like that. But I feel everyone always looks at the role of their physical health with an image, the role of their physical health with how they should feel and all these different things. And I'm not discrediting those goals with physical health, but I think the biggest thing with physical health in the relation to mental health is movement is medicine. And it's not about going to the gym and crushing the weights and hitting PRs. It's not about powerlifting. It's not about bodybuilding. It's not about sports. At the end of the day, those are just compartments of physical movement. Those are just avenues of movement that we all are privy to have access to within a degree. I've never played sports, so I don't look at sports the same way other people do. A lot of people go crazy over football Sundays, the kickoffs on Thursdays. My girlfriend Emma, she's crazy about sports and stuff too. I have a ton of clients that love sports, and I couldn't give any more or less of a fuck about sports, to be honest. I cared about movement in the realm of aesthetics, looking good, feeling good in that realm. But then I had to learn backwards again that the gym wasn't always everything we needed to focus on. The biggest thing that movement does for all of us, it just gives us mental clarity. It lets our body get rid of all of that animosity it carries with it all day. A lot of us can relate to the fact of waking up and then immediately going to work, immediately getting into the day, and then, before we know it, the week is over. And I think that's why it's so important to understand, prioritizing your movement from that standpoint. Yes, a percentage of your movement patterns, a percentage of your program, and a percentage of your ideology of what movement should be in the gym, should be strength training, should be doing some type of cardiovascular output to get, the maximizing your physical health. But when it comes to mental clarity and a healthy lifestyle, you got to focus on all of your movements, your step goals. Me sitting in this chair right now, a sedentary lifestyle. I'm sitting in this chair all day today, recording videos, podcasts, client check-ins. I got meetings. I got to prioritize my movement outside of sitting down all day. And it has nothing to relate to the gym, hitting weights, powerlifting, things like this. So I think the biggest thing when it comes to your physical well-being and giving that mental clarity is having that relationship with it, knowing that it's a movement, not just working out. Did I walk? Did I move my body today? Did I at least give myself some self-love in the realm of moving my body? Programming, exercises, specific things can all be subjective to your opinion of what helps you stay in alignment. But all of us can hit a walking goal every single day. All of us can hit a step goal every single day. All of us can have movement patterns that serve what we do through the course of a life. If I have a sedentary lifestyle, I can have a handful of movement patterns that just serve offsetting sitting all day. If you stand on your feet all day, whether you're a barber, whether you're a waiter, whether you're a waitress, whether you're a bartender, whatever it is, whatever you're doing that you're on your feet all day, there's still movement patterns to offset what you're doing that is not related to the gym. And I think so many of us don't realize that extra step, that extra commitment, that extra self-worth that we're giving ourselves by prioritizing our movements in that regard. It's so easy to get caught up in the realm of just being let me just go to the gym to gain muscle and shred fat. What about longevity? What about functionability? What about being 95 years old and being able to get up and in out of your chair? Fine. The biggest regret that most people had 40 years and above is that they didn't prioritize their movement sooner. So don't fall for that same mistake. Another huge reason why moving your body for mental health is critical and essential for you to understand outside of just going to the gym and playing sports is you look at your food differently all around. Like I know that kind of sounds counterproductive in terms of like, go to the gym, build muscle, eat for building muscle, losing fat, but you start to look at your body from a fueling standpoint. You know what I mean? Like, especially when you get into the longevity, get into older ages and things like this, we're talking about step goals, talking about moving your body and like paying attention to how you're, like, if you're sitting all day, should you do something to stand? Standing all day, should you do something to relax your body? Eating for purpose with that. If you're just eating food based on the relationship you had with it prior to ever just becoming an adult and have never pursued a healthy lifestyle and have never pursued nutrition advice and have never played sports or worked out or things like that or powerlifted or anything like this, then you're just eating through the avenue of what you already know, what you're pre-exposed to. And many of you guys out there aren't pre-exposed to good habits, and I think that's a big thing that, just physical movement does for you. Me and Emma did a 45-minute walk today because it was our active rest day. So we went out, we stayed a little bit longer. And when I got home, I was starving, like literally starving. And I used to have a horrible relationship with food, still struggle with binging every now and then. I think the biggest thing that, the role of physical wellness had in my mental clarity is that it gave my relationship with food so much more purpose. Of course I still want to eat some of the shittier foods and have some of those foods that, make me want to indulge and kind of definitely have them when I should. But I now have a balanced relationship with it, understanding I have output that'll compensate for some of my input, versus just being like, oh no, I'm in the mental despair all the time. Like, why do I never feel good? It's probably because you're not even look at your food for any type of purpose. So physical movements in the realm of just healthy lifestyles outside of the gym, outside of sports, outside of powerlifting gives you a hell of a lot of time to focus on your nutrition with way more purpose. And if you have way more purpose with your foods, you're going to do so much better in life because you're going to want to treat yourself better. Because as they said, the movement patterns outside of the gym, outside of sports, and all these other different avenues is a form of self-love, self-worth. You got to worthy yourself enough to want to take this relationship with food to the next level. And by going to the gym, by going for walks, by just being in some type of physical commitment at all, you're going to want to eat differently because you're going to want to have different results. More output, you're going to want to change your input. It's just fucking common knowledge, but none of you guys stay consistent enough on it. Or think about the perspectives that I'm talking about in the realm of going to the gym and outside of the gym. All of us are so stigmatized to bodybuilding, shred fat, build muscle, or powerlifting, get as strong as you fucking can, eat for that. Or it's sports, and then everything is in between, has your own kind of a despair point or your own wavelength, if that makes sense. But again, I think the biggest thing that I really want to highlight for you guys is the fact that it's a form of self-care. It's a fact that it's a form of self-love. And I didn't even begin to get into the conversation about how daily movement patterns really offset just day-to-day aches and pains, day-to-day discomforts, helps your body and blood flow move. So there's so much benefits to it that I could go on a rant for fucking ever. But the two biggest things I wanted to highlight was the movement patterns outside of the gym that have purpose for your longevity and health. And then the second thing is the relationship with food and just how much more mentally clear it gives you. Because again, mental clarity is every single one of us want it. Whether you're going to the gym, whether you're working on your healthy lifestyle, mental clarity is the only reason why any of us are still alive. The only reason why a lot of us struggle with depression, tons of anxiety, suicide tendencies and all these things is because we don't have mental clarity. Up here is fucking chaotic as shit. So with these little bit of avenues of understanding that just moving your body and committing to it in some fashion is a form of self-love and self-respect and self-care, I think it'll absolutely change your guys' lives. And I think the reason why I'm hitting it so hard is because, like I said, I grew up never playing sports. I grew up never giving or having anybody be like, yo, you should do this for this. I was in a car accident and I fell in love with the gym before that. So before getting in the car accident, I went to the gym because it made me feel good. I knew I could look better. But then after the car accident, I really realized that kept me out of pain. There was never a day after the car accident I never went to the gym based on the fact that I knew it would help me get pain-free that much more. You know what I mean? So it's like when you develop this relationship with yourself, knowing that physical movement is a form of confidence, self-grace, self-compassion, self-care, you're going to be able to take your level from here and to really, really thrive up here. And that's just what I want you guys to understand, because some of you guys are either not committing to it to the way you should because of your perspectives, thinking you're not doing enough, or a lot of you guys are putting a lot of fucking work in and just not giving you guys the grace or the self-love or the respect you guys deserve. Many of my clients, you're in that boat. Many of you guys show up 4, 5, 6 times a fucking week. And you guys can all attest about how in our check-ins we talk about relationship with yourself. Give yourself the praise. And as that compounds over time, how much confidence it gives in your life, how much mental clarity that gives in your life. And it's all stemmed from committing to the movement goals and then changing your perspectives as to the commitment to it to make sure you never fucking lose it. But that's it. That's all for today's episode. I really want to jump on here and just talk about the role of physical wellness with mental clarity, because I think the biggest thing for me is that if it was not the gym, I would not be here. If it was not for the gym, I would not be here live sitting here doing this podcast right now. And I know a lot of you guys can relate to that, for have that mental confidence that gym has given you, and then also the many other benefits that we talk about it as well. But like I said, that is it. That is all. I appreciate you guys all. I hope you guys have the absolute best motherfucking week of your guys' lives. And don't forget to show the fuck up. Let's get it. I'm a man of God, but you bet me in that corner.